Yeah, nothing crazy to start. Happy to answer anything. I think the guys and the coaches are glad we got the logistics out of the way. The week started with a game for us and then had to make some adjustments, but good that we got here, got our workout in, head back to the hotel, and then obviously we'll revisit with you guys tomorrow.
Questions for student athletes? Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah, hi guys. Some could say that you're a little bit more fatigued with that extra game on Monday, but just how's the team feeling?
We feel great. I know there's been a lot building around this series, so we also get the extra day, which is nice. So, no, our bodies feel great. We've been taking recovery pretty seriously, so we'll be ready to go.
And you kind of mentioned it right there, just with a lot of talk and noise around the series. Is that something you guys buy into, something that you try to quiet down maybe a little more?
I mean, I don't think it's anything, in our hands that we can do about it. Obviously, you see it. Obviously, if you're an Arkansas or Tennessee fan or even a college baseball fan, you're going to hear about it and see it. So, really, it's going to be, a fun series.
I guess Dean or Hunter as well, but, you just faced these guys about 3 weeks ago. Just maybe how do you kind of go about approaching that, given that it's pretty much the same pitching staff and the same arms that y'all are going to see?
Yeah, I mean, it's baseball. We played them before, but at the end of the day, it's a new day. I mean, some guy could be feeling better than they did last time or on the opposite hand, so just playing baseball.
Hey, fellas, for both of you, your confidence in Stone catching tomorrow, Marcus, in the first game.
Yeah, no, we feel great with Stone for sure. Obviously, an unfortunate situation for Cannon, but Stone's worked his tail off for 2 years, and he'll definitely be ready, for the moment.
Any more questions for student athletes? Go ahead.
Dean, what could you take, if anything, from that first meeting here a few weeks ago?
Yeah, I mean, the end result wasn't in our favor, but we learned a lot of lessons, and at the end of the day, we played here before, so I think that's a good lesson to go into this weekend.
Hey, Dean, that guy sitting next to you, man, personifying that brand across your chest, man, what have you learned from him throughout your journey as a ball?
Yeah, I mean, he's the definition of a ball, a great teammate, great person, and just a great guy to look up to. So thankful to have him as a teammate.
You talking about Hunter or me?
Oh, well. Let's go talking on my left.
All right, last call for athlete questions. There you go, fellas. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, peace.
Coach Vitello, Matt, you guys going?
Sure. Hey, Tony.
How you doing?
Good. Hey, you guys obviously you're used to hostile environments, and you've been in here for the postseason before. Is it any different than what you see on a normal basis?
Yeah, I mean, well, it's incredibly unique when you take the whole country into account, and then it's unique within the conference, which that's a lot to say. But from my experience, and I wasn't here last weekend, but I would bank on it, it changes in the postseason. Our place is like that too, and we're in the process of adding seats, so we're trying to get to the caliber of SEC stadiums, and we'll be, fortunately, thanks to Danny White and administration, getting us there. But it's different. No one misses because there's potential for rain or, you're less likely to go to the concession stand. And then when there's two strikes, you stand up and you cheer, or other situations that might, call a little extra attention. And that's why these guys, consider this special and a blessing to be able to compete in this environment. I mean, the noise a lot of times can favor you, like it did. I mean, when Liam came out of the bullpen the other night, that's one of the loudest I've ever heard it in any stadium, and it probably helped him a little bit, or at least helped our guys. And even if it didn't, it just made it more of an experience for both teams. So all the teams that are still alive, they get the benefit of being around each other a lot more, but also playing in special environments.
You're starting Marcus tomorrow?
Yes, Marcus Phillips.
I know you did that whenever you came here for game 1, too. Is it a little bit of that? Is it Liam's rest? Maybe a combination of both?
The first go-around was we had the unique deal at Auburn where the mound was labeled as too slippery after a half inning. So we stopped the game, and then Liam had a relief appearance. So the next week he did throw on that Friday, threw a bunch of pitches for us. It might have been Vanderbilt, but when we looked at the workload he had within about an 11-day period, we didn't want to short rest him coming into that Thursday. And then also, Liam, I didn't want Liam to throw in the conference tournament. I brought that up to him, and I thought he was going to punch me. So we looked at the whole thing. Liam's relief, the short rest, the tournament, that means more short rest. So that's kind of where we slid Marcus into that spot. And then here we are again. Liam, if you would have saw him, he was going to kill me if we wouldn't have used him on Monday. So because we used him, I think it makes a lot more sense. And we have equal trust in those two guys. Liam was fortunate enough to win an award through the SEC, but they're both very different, left, right-handed. And I think if you ask the guys, two different personalities, but they love them both. And it really pertains to Monday. And I don't think Vol fans even know it, and probably not his teammates. First time I've said it, but you get a kick out of this. I never told Liam to go to the bullpen. I was kind of holding out, wanted to make sure we had a lead, and he came down to me and said, just so you know, I'm going to the bullpen, and I'm not going down there to not pitch. And then he left. So fun kid to be around.
With Marcus going tomorrow, is Liam set to go game 2?
Yes.
What do you think of having that extra day of rest just with his workload of last Friday to then another 31 Monday?
It's tough to get inside a kid's head or body. It depends week to week because this conference, the league will beat you up. The hitters will, and then it is a lengthy season. But the number one thing he's done is get with Coach Q and improve his stamina, how he takes care of his body. They do it here too. Those body scans now, I did it once, I'll never do it again. It tells you everything about your body. And his is literally transformed from when he got on campus in the fall. So I think he's a lot more resilient. If we asked him to take the ball, my story illustrates the fact that he would take it on any day. I think if anything, it gives the coaches peace of mind because the kid is going to pitch for both of them will, for a long, long time. So I'm no saint, but I do think if you look at box scores, we've been ultra conservative early in the year, even more so as the year goes on. And then this time of year, we don't care as much if you got the sniffles or you're a little bit sore. It's go time, but this will help with our peace of mind and probably help him have an extra day.
Regardless of who wins here, it's another SEC team off the board automatically. Why do you think the league has had difficulty this year?
I don't know, and I have no theory on this, but the conference tournament was different, and so I wonder if that'll get thrown into the hopper and case by case. For us, you asked the boys, that's the most quiet those two have ever been, but you asked them about last time we were here. Since we left and we're on that 11-day road trip, we had 3 games here and 3 games in Hoover. Every one of them was a grind. And the scoreboard sometimes showed it, and we lost a couple games by a bigger margin than we would like. But those games were high intensity, ultra high level of competition. They helped us. So I don't know how Hoover worked out or the end of the year for some of those other teams. So I think also it's a game of percentages. So we're isolating 1 year with SEC teams. I bet if we did the same thing, 12 or 13 teams for 10 years, this would be seen as an outlier. Maybe not. It's postseason time and embrace the chaos.
And then last one for me, Dave was in here earlier, was asked about the portal opening. He also talked about moving up the draft date. How do you kind of manage the portal opening while you're still in postseason play? What's your overall take on that?
Yeah, not very well. I left something. You know, we had a game. We played on Monday. I don't believe Arkansas did. So you're juggling opening day of portal phone calls, and the game makes it a challenge. And then we got to make arrangements. I mean, the whole Tuesday morning was a scramble trying to adjust some things for here. I personally forgot something that I can do without it. I'm not playing, but the reason I forgot it was because I was on the phone when I was packing, and so it's hectic. I don't know how you adjust it. There's only so many teams that can complain, and certainly still playing is good advertisement for your program. I don't think there's any magic solution, but I do think the draft date is one where if everybody had their pick. I mean, it is a mega event now with the All-Star game, so I get it. It's cool. But I think enough people follow college baseball, you could make it an event onto itself and maybe combine it with something else too, but something other than the All-Star game, and it would still be equally a big deal. That way it helps everybody a little bit, whether it's kids incoming. Now with this 34, I don't even know the rules for next year. Maybe you know them. I don't know them. So it could help. It could help in a lot of ways.
Tony, you mentioned being around each other longer in postseason. Dave's guys have done a lot of fishing, I think, this week. And
yeah.
Have you done any kind of team building?
Yeah, all you got to do is go out in right field, and I didn't think they'd ever be able to build something like they built here with the mini pond that's out there. I think the guys did a Top Golf deal, some of them. There was another deal they did. I think they were good about recovering a little bit. Obviously, the game Monday was one that, too often, I know on Twitter kids get criticized for celebrating things, but if you could peel back the curtain for all programs, I don't think kids or coaches celebrate enough because you invest so much and you're so hard on yourself with the losses and the defeats. I mean, you've seen guys, if they strike out, that's a relevant topic for us in here. They're so hard on themselves. So I can't speak exactly, but I know as a coaching staff, we all hung out for a couple hours after that game and just enjoyed it. So, if you're on a team that probably can sort your way through this deal and at least get to a super regional, you're probably around a group of guys that you'd kill to have one extra hour with them. So this week has been good, and tomorrow we'll have a high level of intensity, but I think there'll also be a level of enjoyment for both dugouts.
One more on Phillips. It seemed like the outing here last time was when he really started to turn around and kind of go on this little run that he's on. What did this outing maybe specifically do for him, and what can he take for tomorrow?
I think it helped because he was on the road. He was on the road in Baton Rouge, in Mississippi, because of the 2 transfers. That was arguably as wild of an environment as we were in all year to this point. So I think all the appearances on the road, to be honest with you, built up maturity and also built up a confidence in him to see what he can do, because anyone who knows his story, ESPN's mentioned a bunch, he is a very young kid by age and also by experience. So I think he had some level of success here, but opening weekend of SEC play at Florida, he was our best pitcher, hands down, whether it was Liam or anyone else took the mound. So I think the whole year has been a great story of development for the kid.
Talk about development a little bit. The joy, right? You kind of talked about enjoying those wins from last week. Did you think there was like a part in time in this season where you felt like the guys started to enjoy like the small victories a little bit? Because last week looked like a culmination of that.
I think so because, Hunter alluded to it, and, so then somebody threw a fishing line out there. Wait a minute, how much are you on social media about there's a bunch of noise? Well, if there's enough smoke, you can kind of sense the fire, or whatever the right way to say it. I'm not on there at all. But if something happened that gets loud enough, it's going to find its way to you. And these kids are playing in this thing. So these days, there's so many outside influences. Pro athletes. I mean, there's guys, I read that MLB article was depressing, how some guys are just going to have to completely shut it down because of, crazy. I don't even want to say the words, crazy stuff. So I think because of last year's success, and then we started off the year very well, as does every SEC team, to be honest with you. The noise got loud and loud and loud, and then you lose to an ultra-talented A&M team, and it's like, wait a minute, that's crazy. That should never happen. And as Dean said, it's baseball. It's baseball. And every time you come to the park, you're going to see something new. And so anything can happen. And then you add in or sprinkle in a little postseason dust, you can bet your butt that anything can happen.
Yeah, Coach, curious for you. You kind of talked about the anticipation for this series. It's on ESPN both Saturday and Sunday. How do you believe that the Tennessee-Arkansas baseball this weekend can help grow the game of college baseball?
That's a good question because I think it's already been a work in progress. And, Drew is a kid. I think anything our guys have done is, like other teams too. I mean, the team we were just playing against, same thing. It's instant reaction. And if you ever watch Tiger Woods play golf, when he really had it cooking, there was a lot of instant reactions that were very non-golf country club-like. But then he composed himself immediately. If you're not competing, or if you are competing, there's going to be an instant there where you don't have as much self-control as you'd like, and it's something you need to practice. We did have the one moment in 22 that I don't know what he got caught up in, but the dude's now playing for an MLB team. And if you ask any of the fans in that city and anyone on that MLB team, he is an A-plus kid on top of being a big leaguer. And Drew will be in the big league soon. I'm talking about the 22 team. That team, along with other college teams, not just Tennessee, they got people talking in 21 and 22. Like this Dylan Cruz guy is like a freak, and Cags is a cyborg. I mean, what the hell was that guy doing in college base competing? I mean, he shouldn't be on planet Earth. He showed that yesterday. He shouldn't be competing against any humans. So there's been this chatter building that's growing our sport, and I think when you got a legendary coach in a legendary environment and in two teams from a very tough league that now there's, I don't know if star power is the word, but kind of like you've had in Omaha with Skeens and some stuff, there's some star power there, and it makes it fun to talk about, and it grows the game, especially for little kids. It's so cool now that little kids want to grow up and be not necessarily Ozzie Smith, who our kids don't even know, which is depressing, or Willie McGee, but they want to be, and then they point out, like these college guys. It's pretty awesome to be in Hoover and see those little kids say that and seek out the autographs.
Last one, Jackson.
Coach Doyle obviously didn't have his best start here, and he struggled when he was here with Ole Miss as well. Has that been a discussion point, whether it's internal scouting from those two or just motivation maybe in the build-up to this weekend?
It could be for somebody else. He's a smart kid, make no bones about it, off the field, and he's even kind of helped. He'll chime in on the hitters and stuff like that, but when it comes to competing, I don't know that anyone dumbs it down more than Liam. He just wants the ball, and he wants to go. And if it doesn't go his way, you're never going to find a kid that's more humble the next day, and he'll just say, I didn't get it done, or I could have got it done better. He doesn't look for any excuses. And if he does have an outing that's something to be really proud of, the most you're going to get out of him is a joke, kind of half teasing, that it went well for him. So in all sincerity, I think maybe there's a little more analysis that would go on with another kid. But for him, I think he's developed into a new pitcher this year and is still developing. And, you'd be crazy if you're not going to look back and try and make some adjustments or, for both teams to look at a little bit at what went on last series and maybe try and execute the goods and avoid the bads. But he's kind of a unique kid. Very blessed to be around him. He's a fun one.
Coach, appreciate you. See you
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Thank you, guys.